Good evening and welcome to the Last House Gala benefiting the Success Centers. My name is Julian Glover from ABC 7 News right here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I am so excited to be with you this evening. A few months ago, Success Centers reached out to me asking if I would MC this evening, and it was so easy to say yes. And that's because our missions align so perfectly. See, I cover race, culture, and social justice for ABC 7 News here in the Bay Area, and that's essentially what the Success Centers is all about. The Success Centers is one of those gutsy nonprofits that's been doing the work literally for decades, both walking the walk and talking the talk. And yet it really tends to fly under the radar. Some even describe it as the best kept secret, the mightiest nonprofit you never heard of. But you can help change that, starting with this event right here tonight. Over the course of the next hour or so, we will be learning more about why the Success Centers is the last house on the block and raise money for such an important cause. Throughout the evening, we'll be hearing firsthand from Success Centers staff and participants. They know better than anyone why this work matters and why your support is so important.
I think a lot of people see cannabis and see an opportunity to get into it, but they're not as educated on it as I would like for them to be. So I think that one thing I like about the Success Center is that it allows people to gain that knowledge that you can't just really grab off the street.
I handle all of the equity hiring for our delivery service, and my first interaction was Juneteenth job fair. I came to recruit and I ran into Miss Angela White there, and we just instantly connected, both being from the same place. And I've truly never met anyone more passionate than Miss Ange about equity. For me, equity is number one, making sure that no city hands out any permits to any corporate conglomerates before they look to the people that have been affected by the war on drugs first.
I think what equity allows is for more people, for more seats at the table for different people.
I see Success Center and Miss Angela and Miss Liz able to create a curriculum that is how to bring equity people into compliant permits and be funded. So for me, I would love to see an even playing field or more level playing field for those that have clearly been to jail, been impacted by the war on drugs, that can show that they can successfully run businesses.
Now, to make tonight even more special, we're also celebrating the birthday of Success Center CEO Liz Jackson Simpson. So get ready for some surprises throughout the show. We've got some special birthday wishes in store for her, starting with a familiar face.
Hi, I'm Mayor London Breed. I'm so excited to join you for the annual Success Centers Gala. Tonight's event features many inspiring artists while celebrating the incredible work that Success Centers does in our city. The unconditional love and compassion that drive this organization has helped thousands of people change their lives. As we begin our recovery after a very challenging year, we have an incredible opportunity to build a more equitable and just city where those involved in our criminal justice system can find success after re-entering society, where we break down the barriers that prevent underserved communities from getting access to life-changing resources and support, where people aren't limited by fear or discrimination, or what neighborhood they come from, and where we lift up lives and make change across generations. I'm beyond grateful for Success Centers and their commitment to doing this work, especially during these difficult times. Liz, thank you for your dedicated leadership to Success Centers, and I want to wish you a very happy birthday. Thank you all again for joining us at tonight's gala.
I'm part of the Success Center pre-apprenticeship program. What we've been doing so far here is a lot of carpentry work. You know, we're building a sound studio for the building, and we've been doing a lot of woodwork and structural work. This place is just 100% about what you're willing to put into it. Then you know, they'll take you all the way. They'll take care of you.
Oh my God. Thank you all for coming tonight, and oh, what an honor to have Mayor Breed wish me a happy birthday and to recognize this event. Good evening, everyone. Liz Jackson Simpson, CEO of Success Centers. And we're so honored to have given over 40 years of dedicated service to the city and county of San Francisco. But We wish we could be in a physical space like we have in years past, but we're really blessed to have all the young people from our coding program and our staff to teach us how to live in this virtual space. In the physical space, we can laugh, we can dance, we can have a cocktail together, but we're really glad to be here tonight. And we could not do this without your support. So we'd like to first thank our major sponsors. Silicon Valley Bank, the Green Cross, Kathy Hormel in memory of Hildy Bernis, the McCarthy Center of the University of San Francisco. Thank you so much for your major sponsorships. And our supporting sponsors, we can't do it without you either. Dr. Renato Almanzor, Lori Beckelman and Michael Horst, in honor of our board chair, Elliot Beckelman, the law offices of Denise Ledbetter, Pressler Ventures, and Urbana. Thank you all so much for making this evening special and highly successful. And now I'd like to turn the mic over to our Director of Philanthropy, Mark Hernandez.
As you can see, Success Centers is a nonprofit that consists of many hands, and you are in on the ground floor of something new. It's only in recent months that we gave a name to the group of individuals who support our work. We call that group The Last House. If you donate so much as $1, you are a member of The Last House. Now here at Success Centers, we often call ourselves the last house on the block. Miss Liz, last house on the block. What does that mean?
The last house is the place where the doors are always open and the lights are always on. For many of our constituents, they have been failed by most of the social systems that have been involved in their lives. Education, workforce development, law enforcement. But here at Success Centers, we're honored and grateful that our folks will give us one last chance in working in their lives.
So, the last house is the people we serve. The last house is our staff. The last house is our board, our volunteers. The last house is you. We cannot do this without you. We need your voice. We need your presence. We need you at our table. We need your advocacy. We need your allyship. And we would be especially grateful for your financial support. That's why we are here. Our goal is $21,000. We call this our Funded Dream. Okay. Did you attend our gala last year? Then you know what this is about. We promised you last year and we promise you this year to keep the fundraising under 10 minutes. Now, if you were there last year, my colleague, AT, he was on the stage, had his little watch. He's our finance guy. He knows how to count real good. And we did it in 8 minutes, 36 seconds, if memory serves. Well, we're in the virtual space. We have to have an accommodation, right? So this year, for our Funded Dream, we are breaking it up into 3 fundraising breaks. This is the first one. The idea is to drive that progress bar, that thermometer, break to break and after, until we reach our goal and go beyond it. Many of you added donations with your tickets. Thank you for that. If you are in a position to help us tonight with a donation, please know that we will use your donation responsibly. The people who walk through our doors pay nothing. Our services are entirely free. From the moment they come to us, we do for them. Now, we have government contracts, we have foundation grants. These pay for our programs and services by and large, but they don't pay for everything. Our frontline staff work with individuals, people, humans. They have needs that need to be met. Sometimes they have needs that need to be met before they are even in a position to access the program that is paid for. It's stressful. We make it work. We make it work with the help of people like you. If you're in a position to help us, that's what your dollars do. You help people to attain their educational goals. You help people get into good paying jobs in high demand fields. You help us pursue equity in the cannabis space. You help young people, especially justice involved young people, develop their expressive potential, especially through things like visual arts programs and so much more.
This is the first time ever, because of COVID, that we've ever worked in the virtual space, but we've learned to pivot. And again, grateful to all the young people from our coding program to teach us how to do that. But we pivoted in this space.
Pivot, pivot, pivot. Our clients pivoted, our staff pivoted. We're asking you to pivot now here in our Funded Dream. Let's see how far we can get between now and our next fundraising break, which is going to feature Robin Sonnen. But for the moment, let us return to our MC, Julian Glover. Julian, take it away.
Success Center's mission is to break down barriers and to empower communities and build new pathways to success. Education, employment, housing support, the arts, these are areas of focus. But really it just comes down to meeting people where they are and helping them get to where they want to be. It's simple. Let's dig a little deeper now.
Success Centers is 39 years old this year. We were started in 1982 by Superior Court judges who saw the need to provide alternative education and workforce development services, largely for young men who are returning to community from the county's long-term detention facility. But today we serve a much broader constituency of folks in our community. Today, we're situated in 7 affordable housing spaces in Hayes Valley, in the South of Market area, and in Bayview Hunters Point. We have computer labs, our career advisors and job developers and other activities that go on in concert with the community to help people get ready to re-engage in their education, to engage into employment opportunities, or go on into post-secondary education or training programs. Here at the Employment and Training Center, we have a construction training program, for example, where we are led by industry leaders and we're teaching them to build these tiny houses. This, in fact, is going to be a sound studio for our new arts component. They said we want jobs in technology, and so we have young people learning about videography. They're learning to code. They're learning how to set up IT networks. One of the things that COVID has really shone a light on is this huge technological divide. I can't imagine, having to go to school and learn in this whole new technology. 75% of all school-age kids are failing. And so all of our young people are struggling. And then those young people that we care most about don't have computers and don't have Wi-Fi access. To know that they're in the parking lots of Starbucks or McDonald's trying to get a Wi-Fi connection, that's not enough. 2, 3, success! I discovered that 80% of the young people who were in detention had committed crimes that were of an economic nature. And I really felt like if they were offered, skills and a trade or linkages to employment as opposed to a gun or some drugs, they would be captains of industry.
A lot of people who come here, they don't really treat me as if I'm an instructor or I'm teaching them. They kind of treat me like they knew me my whole life. When you go to school and stuff, you look at your teachers like teachers. You don't really look at them as your friends, as people who come up in the community, as people who you could go outside and hang out with. But when we're here, we can goof around, have fun. Sometimes we play basketball and other things like that to increase communals, just stuff.
I've been in the street a very long time, so therefore I'm inspired to do that work so I could save those or attempt to save those, do my best to bring those up out of the street and give them the best quality life that the Success Center have to offer. What I love about this place is that it has a college environment. That's what we aspire to bring a college environment, not a jail environment. So it's an environment that you have to navigate yourself. You have to have a responsible mind. So that's what we try to give you coming through the door, responsibility. Because with responsibility, we believe come a duty and a role.
Success Centers believes that the arts play a critical role in developing both hard and soft skills. Its programs have evolved from mergers with Each One Reach One and the Imagine Bus Project. Robin Sonnen, founder of Each One Reach One, has been Success Center's Chief of Innovation and Arts, and after 20 years of service to the community, she is finally retiring. We're proud to salute her tonight.
Each One Reach One was an emotional ride. You know, I kind of joked that I started the agency with a belly full of anger and the phone book, you know? I just was driven. We started doing these playwriting shows inside with young people, and at the time we would get like 50 to 100 people to be able to come to a show. And the words that they would hear and the information they would get from these young people writing in metaphor about their lives, of who they were. I mean, the response so often from people were like, wow, that kid's just like my kid. And that's the power of theater. I think after we spent some time inside the facilities doing the playwriting, we're discovering that kids are leaving the institution as a high school dropout. There's no GED programs. There's no other opportunities or really a lot of transitional support for them coming out. So that was really our next mission, was how can we get GED testing inside juvenile hall?
Before Robin came into the fold, you could not even offer GED services inside detention facilities to young people who were under 17 years old. Today you can. We weren't able to test inside detention facilities. Today you can. So not only has Robin created some trailblazing programs, but also legislation that will carry on into perpetuity. Well, Robin just announced to us that she's decided to retire. And so it's very bittersweet because we have been through some incredible capers together.
It has been an absolute pleasure and privilege to work with Robin, who has been one of the most amazing and greatest both mentors and teachers in my life.
I love you, Robin, and you've earned your retirement. Hey, have a blast.
And so I just want to thank Robin for, endowing her baby to us. Success Center will continue to support the arts, will continue to support the playwriting programs, will continue to support alternative education into perpetuity.
I remember the first time that we walked in the door, there was food cooking, there was music playing, and there were people with smiles on their faces. And it just felt like we came home, even though we'd never been here before. I'm really proud of all the work that Robin and Arius and our students and participants have done in this past 6 months and year, and really just developing a pathway for success for young people for the next generation. And I'm especially really proud of this short film project that we're actually just wrapping up now. So that's just been really empowering, seeing our participants and students going from not having any idea what it takes to make a short film or a documentary or a film into like learning all the elements of those things to now seeing them take it upon themselves to take those first steps in creation.
Robin, you use your hands to uplift our young people, especially justice-involved youth. You typically shy away from the spotlight, but not tonight. It is a privilege and our honor to celebrate you.
I have had the privilege and honor of knowing Robin Sonnen for well over 2 decades. And what Robin has created is wonderful. It's Each One Reach One. And we've been through a lot together. And through it all, we have been sisters. Working, advocating, laughing, joking, fighting, advocating for young people throughout the juvenile justice system. And tonight is our time to honor you. A few years ago, Robin and I decided to merge our organizations together along with the Imagine Bus Project. And today, we're stronger, bigger, more innovative, and doing things in a unique way to serve our community. And so tonight, you have done so much for us, Robin, throughout the years. Tonight is our time to honor you. So we have from Congresswoman Jackie Spears a certificate of recognition.
Which reads, to Robin Sonnen, congratulations on your retirement as Chief of Innovation and Arts for Success Centers. As founder of Each One Reach One, you impacted countless families here within the community. I commend you for your tireless efforts to empower young people of color over the years through the use of arts and education. Your contributions left a lasting mark in the world of criminal justice. May you have a peaceful and fulfilling retirement.
Yes. And next we have a proclamation from Assembly Member Kevin Mullins' office.
From the state of California that lists Robin's many accomplishments, including her assistance in passing 2 pieces of legislation that have changed the face of justice-involved youth.
Yes. And then finally, from your Success Center family, a little token of our appreciation, a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Which reads, in recognition of your years of service to young people, the community, and justice.
Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, everyone at Success Centers. As many of you know, that my journey started close to 25 years ago when I met a young man by the name of Mario Rocha while visiting a juvenile hall in Los Angeles. Mario had just received a double life sentence for a crime he had not committed, and I met many other young people that day that were facing the same kind of charges. When I walked out of that facility that day, my life just changed. I felt a sense of mission and purpose. 12 years later, as a result of amazing attorneys who offered thousands of hours pro bono, Mario Rocha was released from prison. Mario and all of the young people I've had the privilege to meet and get to know and work with over the years have literally saved my life. And for that, I am forever grateful. Change is not a solo act. It's always a group activity. So there's a lot of people I'd like to thank tonight, and I'm sure I will not get everyone who deserves a thank you. But I really want to start off with Harold Atkins, our Each One Reach One program manager, who was my, comrade for so many years, in climbing these mountains. And I don't know, Harold, if we would have created as much without you. To all of the superintendents and the teachers and the probation departments and the probation officers and our mentors and our actors who worked in our playwriting program and all of our community members who provided, endless volunteer opportunities and academic tutoring to kids inside to get their GED. Thank you for trusting our new ideas and our programs. And certainly to Lizzie, my sister, who is the most amazing dragon slayer of anyone I know. Thank you so much for all of your love and support throughout the years. And I know I'm not supposed to look over to you, but I am. And of course, certainly to all of our donors and supporters, because of you, we kept our doors open for over 20 years and kept our lights on so we could do this important work that we've achieved. Together we have really created a legacy of change, and I'm so proud of everything that we've done. And I really hope, as you know, Each One Reach One has found an incredible home here in the Success Center family, and I really hope you'll consider supporting them into the future as you supported us. It has been my privilege to serve, and I just thank everyone so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin, again. And before we go on with our program, we want to ask you all to consider a donation in Robin's honor, a donation that will allow us to continue arts throughout Success Centers, and a donation that would allow us to continue to be innovative and creative to create these artistic streams throughout Success Centers. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Lizzie.
I came to Success Centers through Robin, and I better just stop there. We're going to move on with our program. Before we do, we have another donation break in about 10 minutes. And clearly, I know nothing, because I looked at everything I was supposed to look at, and I took a guess as to what we could raise tonight, No. We've already exceeded the goal. We're already at, I think we're very close to $25,000. So, you, the members of the last house, you're showing us what we can do together. You're showing us our united strength. We didn't know. We're learning. Thank you for being with us on this journey. We'll see you at the next pledge break. Ignore the thermometer. Ignore the progress bar. We're going to redefine it. That's what Success Centers does on a daily basis.
Thank you.
So we're going to switch it off. I'm going to hand it off now to Miss Jessica. Miss Jessica, take it away.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Today, I'm like super excited. 2 young men out of our Youth Build program that completed the 500 hours and our extensive training program. They finally got into the labor's union today. You know, these 2 gentlemen, they have a long history of struggling and facing, you know, adversity and all the different challenges that our young adults face. And through this program, they learned how to get through that struggle. And they're like, oh my God, I did it.
Like all of us, these Success Centers has had to adapt to operating in a global pandemic. Consider this, up until March 2020, all of the work was entirely face-to-face and hands-on. Success Centers was rich in human resources, but not so much in information technology. In a monumental feat, Success Centers distributed laptops, got people connected to Wi-Fi, even learned computer programs, and moved just about everything in this virtual space that we're all used to operating in right now. Success Centers never closed. It couldn't. It's the last house on the block after all, even if that meant moving the house virtual. Let's show you how they did it. Here's an example of one of the arts programs that transformed.
Good. So some of them did the filming, and some of them did the music, and some of them did storyboards. And did they break it all up that way, kind of like we talked about?
Writing, yeah.
And did the writing.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
We definitely want to acknowledge our students as well too, for sticking it out. We know it's been tough during COVID. We know it's tough even now interacting on this virtual space. So shout out to you guys for sticking through all the way. We really appreciate it. So yeah, like I said, when we got to our final project, they said we really want to do this short film, and that's where these guys really stepped in and really took and hit a home run. So
my name's Caleb. I don't know, this whole experience is actually just really fun, more so than a class, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just fun getting on the class and talking with your friends across the country, and also learning a whole lot.
I've just been skating in circles waiting for my turn. A big thing for me was just making sure I was here, because I told Dilo and AJ I would be here. And it's not just a class for us, but it was a big part for them too, just for us to have them in the class, just for them to have us in the class.
Luminosity effects and like all the little exposure and stuff it really shows off for me in the editing, because I'm more of an editor.
Cool. Okay, Jaden, you had a question, and then Omari. Okay.
I didn't have a question. I was just gonna say, like, with this being a test, I think it would be cool to see that point of view, because we could, if it looks really sweet, we could, like you said, maybe we want all our dream states to be like that.
Teaching the kids is awesome, man. Like, I mean, most of them aren't like kids, you know what I mean? You guys are like in your 20s, like early 20s out of college and stuff like that, out of high school. So it's like working with our younger selves. We gave the students an opportunity to like, what do you guys want to do as opposed to like force feeding a curriculum, I guess. And they came up and evolved a really dope idea. So we're like growing at the same time and helping others grow in situations. So it's really fun. I really enjoy it. It's very fulfilling.
Soy una estudiante y vengo aquí con ayuda de mis tareas y todo eso, lo que necesite, y siempre he querido a alguien que me ayude con tareas y me encontraron este lugar. Y vengo aquí también a aprender un poco, mejorar en mi inglés, porque he estado con personas que solo hablan español y necesito hablar con alguien que hable inglés. Y me encanta venir aquí porque no quiero estar en mi casa encerrada y necesito de ayuda.
As we told you at the top of the show, it's Liz's birthday. And what's a birthday without a gift and a surprise?
And indeed, we have a gift for Liz. It is also a gift for everybody who supported our gala tonight. Now, it is impossible to keep a secret from Liz, but we have. She doesn't even know what we've got planned until tonight, and here it is. I'll give a copy to you, Miss Liz, to take a look at, and I'll show our people at home. This is an original caricature of Liz that we commissioned from artist Dawood Marion, who also happens to teach for us. He comes to us from the Imagine Bus Project. They said, Dawood, caricature, something that captures Liz that we can share. And this is, what do you think of this, Ms.
I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you, Dawood.
And it echoes something that we hope you're proud to say, which is, I know Liz, because if you know Liz, you are connected.
Oh, thank you.
So, within our modest means, we are having this image put onto a memento keepsake refrigerator magnet.
Okay.
If you supported the Last House Gala with $1 or a ticket admission, you are getting one of these in the mail. It'll take a couple of weeks. It is our gift to you for helping us this evening. Clearly, I know nothing. Last I checked, we are past $26,000. We are learning, as I said, you are teaching us. Thank you for your presence here. I get this question all the time, but Ms. Liz, I think maybe if you answered this question, why should anybody support Success Centers?
Well, Success Centers is, as you saw tonight, just full of innovation, full of disruptors. We don't stand to... we stand for equity. We will not allow any more inequities so it taint our communities. And so everybody at Success Center's heart and passion is into trying to make a new normal, not just COVID bringing in a new normal, but Success Centers is driving a new normal. And so we need your help and support to ensure that folks have an equitable chance to doing whatever their hearts desire.
And we are in the virtual space this year. If you were with us last year in the live space, then you know this. During the Fund to Dream, whenever someone in the audience raised their hand, make a pledge for support of our organization, people from our staff would run up to them and shower them with love and make it rain. We have one more chance to drive fundraising for the evening. If you haven't made a donation, if you can make yet another one, if you can help us in any way, let us drive that thermometer, and this is for everyone who joined. We're showering you with love, and we're making it rain. Yeah. Let us go back now to Dawood Marion.
Thank you, Dawood. Thank you, everyone.
This work is important to me. Many come here without a high school diploma or a GED. We can help them get that high school diploma and a GED. Another thing that prevents someone, they don't have a California ID or a driver's license, or they may have other barriers. It could be tickets, parole issues, probation issues. But there's a lot of barriers, and we are like, a barrier is not a problem to us. We welcome barriers. That's what we do.
Success Centers always talks about breaking barriers, and in fact, that's the name of one of its programs. Let's take a look.
I've been here now for 6 years, and I've just been out on the streets, boots on the ground, making friends, drawing people to our wonderful programs and services that we work so very hard to implement. So we endeavor to all do what we say we do, and therefore I felt that that's what's made us also successful in being able to engage our community on the streets, because a lot of people just realistically are not going to come in for services. So this film you're about to see is essentially our Breaking Barriers interactive resource fair.
It's Friday at the barbecue for you and all your crew. That's how we do. That's how we do. Hey, hey, hey.
A big part of how we got to Breaking Barriers is that I found that I kept running into a particular demographic that was stuck or having trouble finding work, having trouble getting started, having trouble with housing issues, prior backgrounds. And so Success Center, along with Westside Community Health and Street Violence Intervention Program, we sat at a table and essentially had a conversation.
We came up with the idea that we need to create something for the community, for the younger generation as well as the older generation.
We actually got a bunch of resources together and said we're going to throw a local community barbecue. We used the food to get people out and the music to get people feeling in the mood for getting the actual resource that we had available.
Let's get a DJ, let's do raffle prizes, but then let's bring in the providers around those areas of education and employment, legal issues that can be addressed, housing issues that can be addressed, and mental wellness. To bring that all together is part of the whole mindset behind Breaking Barriers.
I went, checked out Breaking Barriers, saw what they had to offer, was just blown away by it. But I don't have to go to the other side of town to get these services. It's right here.
The first step is everyone registers with the Success Centers. From the registration, they'll go to all of the different tables and address the needs that they need.
They did help me. They helped me get my California ID because they figured that was a barrier to employment. They also gave me the tools needed to update my resume so that it'd be something an employer would look at and at least grant me an interview.
Being a native San Franciscan myself, had a hard time looking at what was left here in this neighborhood in particular in terms of the African American community. One of the cries of their heart was, we need a job, we need a job, we need a job. But we also know in doing this work that it is more than just a job that's needed.
A lot of our people, they come from traumatized backgrounds. So we specialize in mental health. Sometimes people think, oh, I'm not crazy, or I don't need to see a therapist, so we like to use wellness because the mind has to be healthy as well as the body.
I know 5 young guys were actually placed into jobs through the Breaking Barriers. We did a safe passage. That's when you pick them up in the van and you safely take them to their destination and then bring them back. Exposing people to different concepts and different ideas and things that is available, it opened their eyes to success and what success can look like.
I've been employed a little over a year, and it's been an eye-opening experience, discovering what I want to do with my life and basically moving towards and getting the tools and skills needed to be able to do that.
There's plenty of work, there's plenty of opportunities, but if you've never had anyone showing you a different path, a different light, because maybe they don't know how to get to it, well, how do you get there?
Myself and Paris from Westside and Adrian, we're people who are from the community. We grew up here.
We all are passionate about the work that we do and serving our community and serving our family and friends.
You know, a lot of people look at the cup as half empty, but I try to get them to look at it as half full. And when you know it's half full, now we have to figure out what is it that we must do on our behalf to fill it up.
We're gonna roll up our sleeves, we're gonna mobilize, and we're gonna do everything we can to make sure that San Francisco is leading the way on the right kinds of policies. There are so many people out there who need people to just be there for them, to lift them up.
If I save you, you're gonna save your kids. And then if you save your kids gonna say they. So like we saving generations. So I think like that's the biggest gift. And I just gotta chill. So it gotta be real.
Basically, I'm here for construction, to be an operator, and to learn how to build stuff, and to learn how to succeed in life with my dreams I want to do. And even if it takes 5 or 4 years to do it, I'm gonna keep trying. If you make a mistake, you fall back down, fall back up.
I love the people I work with because they love what they do. They love helping people, and they genuinely want to see the organization grow. So that's nice to see. We serve residents from 16 to 24 years old, and what that means is we give them shelter, and we also give them career services. So we want to take a step further than just giving them housing. It's definitely giving me the platform to explore things I need to work on, and also give me the opportunity to get better at certain things as well.
I mean, really, it's like a village. When you come here, the students feel welcome and everybody has a hand in helping a student to succeed. We have to be patient, we have to be understanding. And so what I love about it is like our staff knows that. And so when I say, hey, I got this student, bring them in. It's always bring them in, bring them in. And then I don't never get told, no, I can't do it. I love that.
Friends, it has been an absolute honor to join you this evening. If you'd like to make an additional donation to Success Centers, you'll have the opportunity to do so, or you can make a donation in the days to come. Now, tonight has been just a snapshot of all of the important work this organization does. It comes down to this. The Success Centers is the last house on the block, but a house, of course, is nothing without its people. Now, the day will soon come when we can all gather again in person, and of course, the Success Center's doors will be open for you to visit to see all of the important work that your donations makes possible. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, thank you, and good night.